We want to share with you an experience we had when we came back from our 10 weeks road trip in Europe this summer. We were invited to harvest wine, and after that to press it in the traditional way with the feet, with some friends that we have made here in Catalunya. We want to also share with you some of the things that we have learned traveling. We had a lot of thoughts before we started doing it, and now we've been on the move for a year and a few months, and things change, the perspective changes. And one of the things that really did change really fast was that we learned to slow travel. We learned that being a tourist every day is no fun. It is not about the castles and the art and the waterfalls. The travel is first and foremost about the people. It is the people that we meet that make the adventure, and in this specific case it is the people and the adventure, because being Danes, it is special to harvest wine and to press it with our feet. We hardly have any wine in Denmark, and so this seems very Spanish to us. It seems very special, and it was amazing. It was fun. This family we met when we had just arrived to Catalunya for the first time, which is about 10 months ago. We've been in and out of Catalunya, but we met this family in the very beginning. They were brave enough to come knock our door and get to know these weird people living in a red bus. They are unschoolers like we are, and they are amazing. They are a lot of fun. In the beginning we did not speak Spanish, so it was very interesting to have conversations. Fortunately, this family do speak English, so that's true. We did speak a bit Spanish, my son is explaining, but it was not much in the beginning. And one of the interesting things that we learned is that now we can actually discuss how to harvest wine and what is a good grape and what are the old traditions and how do you press it with your feet, why do you press it with your feet, why do you do only 15 minutes of pressing each batch, even though you have different weight and different foot size, and you should think that a little boy should press for maybe 25 minutes, whereas an adult would stand there for maybe 8 minutes. But there are reasons for every detail of it, and it was a lot of fun to learn it. This example of a thing that happened in our life is an example of our strategy of not planning, not seeking out special experiences. We have a strategy of saying yes to whatever will be right in front of us on our path, whatever feels attractive to our heart, whatever makes us feel vibrant and alive. So of course we could have planned to learn to speak Spanish, to make some friends, to learn to get to know some farmers, to learn to make wine, to understand the carob trees and the traditions of human towers of Catalunya, but instead we just feel our way through this travel and find ourselves in the most amazing situations. Very often you could say we plan backwards. So after the planning, after the fact, we say, yeah, this is what we wanted. And it is not that we are fooling ourselves. It is because we are living and traveling by really solid values. We know what is right for us, what are the most important 5 core values of our life. And because we know this, we also know and feel is the most important part, when to say yes. And of course with these people it is the right time to say yes when they ask us to come and harvest grapes. We went to the vineyard. We had to walk the last bit because our van couldn't turn next to the yard, and we learned how to pick the best grapes. So for their own wine they make at home, they pick only the best grapes, and we felt very insecure. What are the best grapes? How do we tell that? How do we know? That was quite interesting. So we learned from this family and the other family of unschoolers in the field how to spot the best grapes, and we picked that to press the next day with our feet. And we also learned how to manually pick everything for the factory, because it's different when you make cava from when you make your own wine at home. When you make things on the big production of the factory, it is less important, the quality of the grapes. So we learned that, and we threw it all to the wagon, and we got so soaked with the juice of the grapes. We had to go to the beach after to become clean, because we have only limited showering options in the bus. The next day we were invited to join them pressing the grapes into the juice and see how it was all filled to the barrels, and the fermentation process started, and that was fun. Of course, it was like fish. The feeling, the sensation with the feet was different and fun, and the balance and how you had to balance, and you could hold to a little point, but you couldn't hold on to it, because then you took the weight of your feet, and then the feet wouldn't press the grapes, and then there would not be enough wine. So we learned that, all the 5 of us, and the neighbor kid and the family we visited, and they live in this most beautiful middle-aged town with a castle, and we could go for a walk and play ball in the street and just lie in the shadow and read our books while we took turns pressing grapes. So that was fun, and we learned how to remove the oxygen from the barrels before you fill in, and use the pump, and every little detail of it. That was a lot of fun, and it was also, as I said, very interesting to be able to discuss the whole process now in Spanish, realizing that we have learned a lot of this language within the months that we have been here. So yeah, that was fun, and in the end we had a lunch in the garden, drinking one of the bottles from last year, and of course that made the full circle of the situation beautiful, just beautiful. This is our journey style, travel style, making friends, traveling slow, realizing that staying in one place will give you often more adventure than rushing from a site to the next site, to the next site, to the next site. Staying in one place for a longer, or going back to the same places, making friends, making genuine friends, being interested in their stories, being part of each other's lives, is the true adventure, and will also give these experiences, learning new skills and new traditions and new perspectives on life.